Now, directly across the Hudson, Thierry Henry, David Beckham, and the MLS All-Stars in a rematch a year in the making, taking on a Manchester United team that beat these All-Stars 5-2. Revenge is on their mind, and the fans have come out to pack Red Bull Arena. It will be a cauldron, and it all starts now. Welcome to the MLS pregame show, presented by Volkswagen. And a pleasure to have you here on a wonderful evening here in Harrison, New Jersey. I'm Max Bredos, along with two guys that know a little bit about the MLS All-Star games, Taylor Twellman and Alexi Lalas. This guy's playing a few good games as well. Steve McManaman, ladies and gentlemen.
Great to be here.
Lot to talk about. Obviously, Alexi, right from the top, revenge on the mind of this MLS All-Star team. They were pounded last year. They were down a goal a minute into the game. Usually an All-Star game is supposed to be a pleasure trip. This is all business.
Yeah, I mean, the result was bad last year, but the message was bad. The message went out to the world. And so MLS went back and said, you know what, we got to make it competitive. And they gave Hans Bach, the coach of the MLS All-Stars, the mandate. Go out there and win this game. So you have the players that were voted by the fans, but Hans Bach also was given the opportunity to go out there and get the players that he feels are going to be competitive. And that is reason enough to watch this. In a sense, you're watching an MLS team that has absolutely no salary cap restraints. So it's going to be fun tonight.
No, and Alexi, the only concern about these All-Star games is one thing: substitutions, because it kills the flow of the game. And Hans Bach thinks he's got a plan of, I'm going to make only 2 substitutions in the 45th minute and the 60th minute with waves of players. But Steve, what's concerning for me is that kills the flow of the game. I think Manchester United's got the upper hand on that.
Yeah, I think so, certainly. And we know that Alex Ferguson has said he wants a lot of his players to play 90 minutes. So I don't think he'll make many changes this evening. And also, as we'll see later on, the Manchester United starting 11 is very, very strong. So they'll have to be on the mettle, the MLS All-Star team, right from the beginning.
And they'll be leery of what Manchester United has already done in this preseason tour against MLS opponents. Now, a couple gentlemen that are very excited about playing this Manchester United team and know them intimately, look forward to take on the Red Devils, David Beckham and Thierry Henry.
You come up against Manchester United and Wayne Rooney and Chicharito and other players like that, and Sir Alex Ferguson as manager. There's not many times that you can say that you've done that. So it's about enjoying the occasion.
It makes it special, you know, especially for the fans coming to see the game, especially for us, you know, because the game is at our arena. So the fans get a chance to see not only the best players in the league, but also some of the best players in the world.
You know, Steve, a lot of the MLS All-Star look forward to playing the big names in this All-Star game, but it's the roles are reversed a bit here because you have Beckham and Henry. Some of these young Red Devils look forward to playing that duo.
Yes, certainly, and they are legends, aren't they? Especially Thierry Henry. He's had a fine start to the MLS this year, which is great to see him scoring goals. And, you know, the Manchester United side have played against many superstars, as we all know. Champions League, and they're on to pre-season. But they've got very important games to come up in the next couple of weeks. So they'll be all guns blazing this evening.
Now, Taylor, when we look at this All-Star team, obviously we know those 2 big names. What are your thoughts on that supporting cast and how they might be able to get a result here?
Well, it's all going to depend on where Hans Bach is going to play David Beckham. Is he going to play him centrally? Is he going to play him out wide? That's going to be key to this game because these guys have only trained twice, Alexi, and you've played in these games. How hard is it to understand what each individual player brings? I think that's going to be the biggest obstacle for the MLS All-Stars.
It's hard, Taylor, but also you're seeing a team in MLS here in the All-Stars that has depth. And when we've watched Manchester United play against MLS teams in this tour, what has happened is the first 11, no problem, they can compete. And then as you start getting into 13 and 14, the depth drops off. But in this case, when Hans Bach goes to that bench, he can put in players that have experience, that have quality, that aren't afraid of the big surroundings here. So it's going to be interesting to see how those substitutions do impact the game.
And you bring up a great point because Manchester United has scored all their goals in the second half against the depth that, let's make no mistake about it, MLS's depth is not up to Manchester United. Tonight, there's an All-Star team that has the depth that can compete with Manchester United.
Ziggy Schmidt would certainly say that. He was trailing Manchester United 1-0 at the half. 7-0 was the final. They'll be looking for a much better performance from the MLS All-Stars. For a different perspective, let's send it up to the gentlemen that will be calling the game, Adrian Healy and John Harkes.
Thanks very much, Max. It's the first ever rematch in MLS All-Star history, and 12 months on from their last meeting in Houston. John, there's a very different look about these two teams. The MLS All-Stars returning just 2 starters from 12 months ago. Manchester United, none.
Well, it's very exciting, and the Stars are going to be here entertaining tonight, Adrian. And when you look at Hans Bakker, he talks about players who's going to make a difference on the field. They want to compete and they want to win. Mondragon with Philadelphia Union represented in goal. Olave and Tim Ream of the Red Bulls right there. But David Beckham, he's been asked to play a holding midfield role, which Joseph and Davis are going to have to do a lot of work. And especially in this 4-3-3 with Cummings up top and Henry, they have to drop back quite a bit to defend. It's going to be interesting to see what they happen. Sir Alex Ferguson with Man United, well, he has other things in mind. Always a 4-4-2, extremely organized. Lindegaard gets a shout tonight. Ferdinand and Vidic in the back line. Jones getting a shout as a right back tonight. It's his first start so far in there. Anderson Carrick, but Ashley Young on the right-hand side, a player that just missed out on the World Cup. He's going to play on the right. And, of course, Wayne Rooney and Berbatov up front. 2 lethal goal scorers.
But one notable absentee, Javier Hernandez. Chicharito picking up a concussion yesterday. And Max, he was kept in hospital overnight as a precaution.
Thank you, Adrian. And discouraging news, obviously, for Chicharito, Hernandez, Manchester United, but the fans that came in big numbers to see him play in his first game for Manchester United since helping them win the Gold Cup, Mexico over the United States. This is a guy, though, that was an experiment a year ago, Alexi. He's going to be a featured player this year for Man United.
It's amazing. I mean, a year ago, we were sitting here talking about how much time is Chicharito going to get. Well, what a year. What a year for the man. But this is Manchester United, and so when Chicharito goes out, they can certainly play without Chicharito. You put Dimitar Berbatov and Wayne Rooney up there. Not bad at all.
It's not a bad problem, but when you look at the lineups, what's concerning to me is Beckham, Brad Davis, Shalrie Joseph against the 4 guys in the middle from Manchester United. Steve, I don't know if that's the problem you want to have if you're
I was quite surprised. It's a very attack-minded lineup. Of course, we have to. It's one of those games. We have to please the fans. We have to score goals. But I'm surprised. Very attack-minded for the MLS.
Macca, getting back to Chicharito, an injury here. Obviously, it's not a long-term issue. Hopefully, that's not the case. But Sir Alex said he's closed the market. No more blind players. Do you think that maybe that's something he may want to rethink?
No, I don't think so. As Alexi rightly said, he's got Dimitar Berbatov back in the side. He's the Premier League leading goal scorer of last year. He's brought Danny Welbeck back in. He's not going to let him go out on loan. Cleverly, he's back. So they've got an abundance of youth, Manchester United, and it's a different Manchester United side from last year.
And those guys that you mentioned had very good loan spells. That's the kind of knowledge they'll bring back to Manchester United. I don't think we've ever heard it this loud here. The New York Red Bulls are doing a fine job of getting a fan base going, but I don't think they've ever had it quite like this, Alexi.
The dude just parachuted into the stadium.
And he wrecked the field.
That's how Alexi got here.
Awesome. Awesome. It's the quickest way. If you want to avoid the traffic on the New Jersey Turnpike, that's how you make an entrance. But this is obviously what the folks at Red Bull, Taylor, envisioned on how this stadium would be in, week out.
Well, because they could have easily played this game at the Meadowlands. They're playing it here at an MLS soccer-specific stadium. It's echoing, it's loud. This is what the All-Star Game's meant to be about.
Manchester United, as we alluded to, has had a very good run in the North American Tour. They've hit the ground running. Just ask their opponents, New England, Chicago, and Seattle. 2 of those games in the World Football Challenge have outscored opponents 14-2. 13 of those goals coming in the second half. They've also got a taste of America. Park Ji-sung and Patrice Evra making themselves a deep dish pizza in Chicago. A little kimchi in there. I'm just kidding, but it looks delicious. Park Ji-sung enjoying it. As Manchester United ends their tour, Barcelona will begin theirs of the United States, and they will meet coming up on Saturday, the Herbalife World Football Challenge. Barcelona, the Champions League winner, takes on the runner-up Manchester United from FedEx Field, just out of our nation's capital. That Saturday at 7 Eastern on ESPN2. As for our festivities leading up to this game, Tim Ream, Rec Shea, the closing bell at the New York Stock Exchange, David Beckham, Thierry Henry visiting Good Morning America, Alexi Lalas holding the umbrella for one of our returning heroes, Alex Morgan, and then his first yes! You got to take that one again. You can't stop like that. And then this is the Legends game, which you participated. Tell me about this finish.
The only thing that matters is the highlights.
Oh, it got worse.
Alexi's been in bed since.
About 15 minutes away to kick off. It's going to be electric. It is more than an all-star game. Believe you me, the MLS All-Stars know what's at stake. We'll be back with much more from Red Bull Arena.
That's been years in the making, and Red Bull came in and did a wonderful job, spared absolutely no expense. You can hop on the PATH train over there in Manhattan
and it's so
and get
loud.
here so easy.
That's
No free advertising. All right, well, we saw David Beckham there having one of his best seasons, maybe the best, at the top of Major League Soccer in assists. We look at the season, we're over halfway. What has stood out for you? Who are the players that have impressed you?
I'll tell you what, I think you do have to look at Thierry Henry and Breck Shea. For me, Thierry Henry is my mid-season MVP. I think sometimes it's easier to become a star than to stay a star, especially in MLS. This is a DP in every sense. He's come in, he's played incredibly, he's gotten the goals, and he's behaved like a star, and that is of value, not just to his team, but to his league.
It is, but what is his value? Scoring goals for the 12 ties? FC Dallas are winning games because Breck Shea has 5 game-winning goals. And think of this, he started playing center back at the beginning of the year.
Well, that didn't go so well, did it?
That didn't go well at all. And you and I posted some comments on Twitter. When David Ferreira got injured, Breck Shea played left mid, FC Dallas season was turned around.
I think you also have to look at Los Angeles and the way that Los Angeles has continued to just grind out results. Maybe not the most entertaining brand of soccer, but absolutely incredible what Bruce Arena has done with Los Angeles.
Valuable player is Osvaldo Alonso for Seattle Sounders. No questions asked, because you take him off.
If we have a pickup game and you have Thierry Henry, Breck Shea, and Osvaldo Alonso, who are you picking, Taylor?
I'm a forward, so I'm taking Alonso.
Don't go there. Don't go there. All right, so it's going to be very entertaining. We know that. Don Garber, the commissioner, certainly is welcoming Manchester United to this game, but he certainly wants his MLS All-Stars to get through. Let's have a prediction, gentlemen. Who wins it?
I'm going with the MLS All-Stars 2-1.
Wow, that's big time. I'm going to go to penalty kicks because I'm neutral.
I'm going to go 3-1 Manchester United. I think
shocking.
They've got a strong side out tonight.
I thought you were a Liverpool fan.
I always pick them to lose, but tonight...
That's the smart money right now, because Manchester United have been impressive even in the infancy of their tour, where they really came out and blasted these MLS clubs. Pride is at stake for these Major League Soccer All-Stars. They are loaded with talent, and it will be on display at the other end of this commercial break. We will hand it off to Adrian Healy and John Harkes on our return. It's the 2011 MLS All-Star Game on ESPN2.
Of the All-Star Game tonight, they're coming across in their thousands. Forget the Jersey Shore. This is where the real spectacle is, in the Garden State tonight. Manchester United, the visitors, taking on the MLS All-Star team as we welcome you in to the 2011 AT&T MLS All-Star Game on ESPN, presented by Adidas. Tonight, Manchester United against the MLS All-Stars here at Red Bull Arena. It's a game they could have held at Giant Stadium instead of 25,000 capacity. Red Bull Arena, it's the hottest ticket in town. As the best in MLS face the very best from England. Welcome into the commentary booth. Adrian Healy with John Hartz alongside. And John, a poignant night for the likes of David Beckham and Thierry Henry. So long adversaries in England, internationally, and in MLS. Tonight, getting to play together for the very first time.
And what a rare opportunity for the fans, too, to see these two players. These are the two biggest stars, the DPs of Major League Soccer, and the opportunity lies here with a David Beckham playing against his old club. When you speak about a player who's a legend, well, he's in his 5th year right now of contract. They're hoping to possibly retain him. He is very creative this season as well for LA, having an excellent season. Thierry Henry, he both with Beckham now are going to be looking to combine and try to break down this Manchester United side. But David Beckham saying he's very healthy, feels sharp, and of course, even players like that, Adrian, they lift themselves. They get the goosebumps, they rise to the occasion. This is a special game for them. They bring back so many great memories. Henry wants to score goals. He's been doing it for fun.
Well, Beckham's old team, Manchester United, have looked in great shape so far, haven't they, on the United States tour? They've been scoring goals for fun, 14 of them. They've conceded just 2. And that chief culprit amongst the goal scorers, Wayne Rooney.
Yeah, he's on fire, and this is really his first time that he's had a break since probably 16 years old with Everton. So now with Manchester United, he's played so much soccer, he's had a little bit of a break. He comes in fresh, scoring goals for fun. He's enjoying his game. And I talked to Sir Alex Ferguson. He said, I like Rooney up top. He's very courageous. And one other player they've got to give a shout to, Ashley Young. New signing. We talk about players, how they're always growing, not just for now, but for the future too. Ashley Young just missing out into 2010 World Cup in South Africa. Very exciting player, great pace. He could deliver an excellent ball from the outside.
Ashley Young moving from Aston Villa, churning down the overtures from Liverpool. A similar story with young Phil Jones. We're going to see him tonight in the starting lineup for Manchester United, managed as always by who else? Sir Alex Ferguson. He's an institution, isn't he? Coming up to 25 years at the helm. Took over in November of 1986, and interesting contrast in the managerial chairs tonight, from the Scot to the Scandinavian Hans Backer, just his second year in charge of the New York Red Bulls, and perhaps given their current form, he's rather glad of the rest at the moment, the chance to coach the MLS All-Stars.
Right, and he's saying he's got to get things right. After the break, they may be able to refresh players and starters, but make no means about it, they need to compete tonight. Both managers, they want to win and they want to compete and show the fans what it's all about. And really, for the Red Devils, well, Sir Alex Ferguson wants to continue that great run they've done so far in this tournament.
I want to pick up on a point that Alexi made pre-game. This is the world's game, but it's a very traditional American event, isn't it? The All-Star game. I think this sport has got it right, John. The element of competition.
I agree, Adrian, and we've come in a very short period of time, a long way. A lot of progress in this country. 18 teams right now in Major League Soccer, 16 right now in terms of years going on. But look at this, a competition internationally, but also domestic. Some great players here tonight to shine.
They moved away from the old East-West format, which the MLS employed for the first few years of the All-Star game. The first couple of All-Star games actually just down the road from here, and you were part of those, John, the 96 and 97 games at Giant Stadium.
Yeah, it was great to be part of that, even the World All-Star game in 96. And you knew the fans were coming out there. They wanted to see not just the entertainment value, but the individuals. And here we go again tonight.
Away we go with the best in MLS against the English champions. A fascinating 90 minutes in store. The MLS All-Stars wearing the dark strip, and a little bit of an early nervy touch there from Tim Raine, playing in his home stadium.
Well, actually, the first nervous touch from Bobby Convey, too. So Thierry Henry giving the ball away. You got to see if the U.S. players here representing in Major League Soccer are looking to get themselves sharp and be aggressive and play and keep the ball. Hans Backer spoke to me yesterday. He said, John, we want to play a 4-3-3 and get after him a little bit, but you got to have the right horses, Adrian, to do that. So when they defend, they've got to work hard.
It's always a little bit like the Oscars, isn't it, the MLS All-Star game? But everyone's got a favorite who misses out.
Yeah.
Hans Backer picking his 11 to compete. And you sense a real spice of competition in the air tonight, with both teams with a point to prove. So Alex Ferguson saying many of these Manchester United starters will go 90 minutes tonight, just to get them in 90-minute shape. The Community Shield just 10 days away, the start of the English domestic season. Nemanja Vidic and Rio Ferdinand, the first choice central defensive pairing, starting together for the first time on this tour of the United States. About Farid Mondragon getting his first clearance in, the 40-year-old Colombian goalkeeper. What a season he has had with the Philadelphia Union. A big reason why they are where they are in the Eastern Conference.
Absolutely, doing a very good job. And Peter Novak in only the second season right now, really getting things right. The Union, excellent support too.
There goes Ji-Sung Park on the move. Mondragon is able to shepherd that out of play, though. Let's take a look now, while we've got a moment, at our Continental Tire Analyst Corner with John.
Well, we talked about some of the shape here with both sides. And Beckham asked to hold and defend at central midfield. Recovery of the ball is not one of his highlights, so he likes to distribute from a deep end, but other players are going to have to work hard to do that. Manu, keep an eye on the outside backs, especially Patrice Evra. He loves to bomb forward quite a bit. Phil Jones getting a shout on the right side, the number 4, young player. We'll see how much he goes forward and really plays that mind game with Thierry Henry.
Mondragon with the clearance. Davis letting it go, hoping that Omar Bravo could get on the end of it. Bravo wearing number 99 for the All-Stars, as he does for his team, Sporting Kansas City. He was a commissioner's pick, Commissioner Don Garber adding 2 players to the MLS All-Star selection. Juan Agudelo was the other. Showery Joseph did start last year's game in Houston. His 8th All-Star selection, New England Revolution midfielder.
What a great player he is. Showery spoke to him yesterday. He said, these are the games you look forward to. I can't wait to compete. And I said, well, you're going to have your work cut out for you. He's like, well, I'm going to have to recover the ball, aren't I, in midfield? I said, yes, you are.
Bravo helping it on towards Omar Cummings. Well, plenty of firepower up top for the All-Stars. With Omar Cummings, 14 goals last season for Colorado. Big part of their MLS Cup triumph. Bravo and Thierry Henry aiding and abetting him. Anderson. Lots of changes for the United team from the side that had to negotiate some real resistance from the Chicago Fire on Saturday. We were there at Soldier Field and they were trailing for a large portion of that game. Here's Patrice Evra. A bit of a French clash with Thierry Henry in store tonight as Park takes a tumble. And it goes to Bobby Convey. Revelation this season at left back.
I remember last year too, and against Hans Backe in the playoffs here, he destroyed them, winning 3-1, 2 goals for Bobby Convey. I think that's where Hans Backe said, hey, I'd like to have Bobby Convey here as a left back coming forward.
Convey with experience playing against Manchester United in the English Premier League, and a chance here perhaps for the All-Stars early on. Lindegaard able to corral it though. It is going to be a corner kick. Omar Cummings bursting through. It was a tight angle. Lindegaard's touch took it out of play.
Well, you see right here, here's the combination play. It's a good ball from Beckham from a deep position, but really Bravo and Cummings combined to get past Vidic. And it looks like it actually goes out of play. And then Lindegaard saying he's actually kept it in, so.
First chance for David Beckham to go to work. And a set piece. Nicely flighted, but no takers. United could spring forward.
It's a poor decision right there by Bobby Convey. I thought he should have really stepped forward on top of Park, not giving him a chance to get settled here for distribution from Man U.
Berbatov trying to haul it in. Dimitar Berbatov, the Bulgarian. And perhaps in place tonight of one Chicharito Hernandez. Let's get the latest on his injury from Rob Stone.
Yeah, well, thousands of fans bought tickets just to see the Mexican international. Guys, he's not even here with the team. In fact, he's back at the team hotel after suffering what the club called a minor concussion in last night's practice. He spent last evening in a hospital as a precaution, and a timetable for his return to playing still very much up in the air, guys. I spoke with one Manchester United rep this evening and was told that they don't even know if he'll be able to fly with the team to D.C. early tomorrow morning as they prepare for Saturday's big game with Barcelona.
Thanks, Rob. Real disappointment for the United fans here. And those who have tickets in DC will be holding their breath too. Here's Rooney. Oh, and Park able to saunter through on the end of it. I think he was surprised the ball actually reached him.
You see Ji-sung Park making that late run, and they do it so well. And it's all because of Wayne Rooney. He peels off of that back line. He drifts into the midfield, and he distributes excellent. We saw that against Chicago. He connected with Nani so many times.
Now Henry has found an open Bravo, who backheeled it for Beckham, who goes for goal! Not that far off the mark for David Beckham.
Very unselfish from Omar Bravo. It looked like Henry found a space and put him and tried to lead him in front. It's an excellent play. He just dropped it one time. He thought Beckham can hit it from distance. He tries to get it through the traffic.
Beckham with 2 goals this season, but 8 assists. He's second in MLS, perhaps having his second best season. What is his last year? He does say he wants to play 1, possibly 2 more years in MLS. His contract is up in November.
He has played exceptionally well this season, even towards the end of last year. And he had a slight stress fracture in his back a few weeks ago. He rested a bit. Bruce Arena de Sarakin saying we need to keep an eye on it. He's playing very well.
We'll touch on from Davis, inviting Convey to join the build-up.
So happy to see Brad Davis out there from Houston Dynamo. Excellent player.
He's been Mr. Consistency, hasn't he? Joseph has 2. Davis. Oh, good early forays here from the All-Stars.
Well, very patient as well, Adrian. I mean, we talked about that, how much they need to be confident on the ball. You see a little, it's almost like a 4 here with Bobby Convey stretching him wide. Good ball in from Shalrie Joseph. And just before that, we're seeing a little bit bursts of that counterattack kind of, and this is Beckham from distance trying to beat Lindegaard.
Well, you know he'd love a goal tonight, David Beckham. against Manchester United. Not the first time he's played Manchester United. I remember in his loan spell with AC Milan, he came up against them in the Champions League. Ended up on the wrong end of the scoreline on both occasions. Here's Ashley Young, a new recruit. The nod back from Rooney, left Park wrong-footed. And now Henry, who really feasted upon Manchester United in his Arsenal days. He scored 9 times against them in the English Premier League, but no getting around Park there.
Sure, Ji-sung Park, the South Korean international, has been watching Henry for many years. Wanted to double up and help out with Phil Jones, only 19 years old, the right back, number 4.
Yeah, and interesting that he is playing right back. John, we saw him at centre back, his more normal position.
Yeah, he and Chris Smallings, it was almost like the under-21s national team there from England playing together. And he moved out to the right back in the second half, Adrian, you remember that, so they want to try him there.
Here's Park, weaving his way into the danger zone. Berbatov was just gently nudged off the ball there by Jamerson Olave, the Colombian centre-back. Enjoying another fine season with Real Salt Lake. Rio Ferdinand, wondering whether he can stay healthy. Ferdinand has had an injury-disrupted last 3 seasons, so much time on the treatment table. Against Convey. And possession stays with United. 4-1 winners against the New England Revolution, 7-0 against Seattle, and then 3-1 in Chicago on Saturday. United's results so far. Anderson. In combination with Park. Anderson looking far post. And just beyond the leap of Dimitar Berbatov. For Berbatov, still a player who divides opinion, John. Some say he's a misunderstood genius. Some just say he's a miss merchant.
Yeah, well, he's continuously trying to tell the fans what kind of player he is. In the Bulgarian international, he is hot and cold at times, but look, he is a goal scorer. And 20 last year in title league with Carlos Tevez. He has done very well. And he's very silky smooth on the ball. Big player. And there's a little giveaway here.
He's got that deviant ingredient, doesn't he? Dimitar Berbatov, which you've got to love. But he's offside here.
Yeah, really, when you look at Park, the ball was laid back. He should have just gone on his own. Berbatov in an offside position. And Tim Bream in the back 4. Have to be very careful not to give the ball away cheaply. And then invite pressure from this excellent Manchester United side.
Red Bulls fans are here in their thousands to support the MLS All-Star team. It's pretty accurate to say they could have sold this stadium 3 times over. Just a shade over 25,000 is what Red Bull Arena holds. Tim Ream. Breakout season last year for the USA International. Here's Beckham. Has options away to his right. Didn't quite wait that for his club teammate Sean Franklin, and now Franklin could be stranded. But Park looking for Rooney in that vacant area. Couldn't find it. Convey was once the youngest player in MLS League history when he's made his debut with DC. Nearly 12 years ago now. Still only 28.
See that accuracy right there, Adrian, from David Beckham, and that's why he's here. Does very well. Such a great soccer IQ. Touch on the ball.
Convey serving the right foot across. Vidic is there to meet it. No doubt about it, John. Manchester United already know that they are in a game tonight. They've had their struggles in first halves of games against MLS opposition. They've really run away with games in the second half, particularly that outburst in Seattle.
Well, it comes to, you know, we've always tried to explain, it's the middle of the season. It's difficult for clubs in Major League Soccer to play everybody that they can. got injuries, and they're always worried about playing in the league on the weekend. Ziggy Schmidt made loads of changes in that second half.
Conley feeding it inside, getting away from Omar Cummings. And carried, barged to the ground by Omar Bravo. Bravo, interestingly, has played in an MLS All-Star game before. He played for Chivas, the Mexican side, back in the 2003 All-Star game. Came on as a substitute. Out of a really remarkable turnaround by Sporting Kansas City. In the last 12 games unbeaten. Surged up the Eastern Conference table.
And remember Hans Baca saying, coming into this too, Adrian, that this is a statement game. I want to represent the league well, and if I'm going to coach, then we've got to be competitive.
Here's Ashley Young. And he did the hard part. He got there. Now the Herbalife World Football Challenge continues tomorrow. Italy's Juventus taking on Chivas. Will take you to Raleigh, North Carolina for that. 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2 and online at ESPN3.com. Juventus winning just across the water in Queens last night. A 0-0 against Club America. Looking for Cummings. Early on. Omar Cummings, the Jamaican international, missed the Gold Cup this summer with a hamstring injury. The assistant referee on the far side able to see the funny side of it. The crowd certainly did.
And Patrice Evra quickly over there to help him up. He was like, no problem, I'll come and get you. And a little replay here, and this is where it's blocked from the cross, comes off of him. The referee trying to get out of the way. At least somebody's having fun. We don't want to be all about being competitive. We do want to enjoy this and celebrate too, players in the league.
That was almost a triple Saka he pulled off there.
Good little defensive play there from Brad Davis. Again, just breaking up the play from Berbatov. Ooh,
Joseph.
He's looking to lead and be a little bit too far. We know Cummings is fast.
Not quite that fast, though.
Yeah.
Shari Joseph into his 9th season in the league. Scored a last-minute penalty equaliser for the Revolution this past weekend against Colorado. There were selections for the MLS All-Stars team who were unable to make it for various reasons. Omar Gonzalez and Rafa Marquez for injury reasons. Of course, Landon Donovan isn't here either. Could have been a surefire starter, John.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's got a little bit of an injury there. And, you know, actually, it comes at a good time. He needs a break. He's played a lot of soccer coming into the season. Seems to be a bit exhausted, so it'll be good for him. You know, we also talk about the Seattle situation, and not a lot of players were going to be selected from Seattle. I'd like to see Alonso here. Excellent player, but, you know, Casey Keller's flown in from Panama City. Talked about that.
And the Sounders in action in the CONCACAF Champions League qualifier last night. Going down by a 0-0 against a team called San Francisco down there, known as the Monks. Roche similarly unavailable. Dallas duties in the same competition.
Well, I have no doubt Seattle will win that second leg when they come here to the link. Seattle, good ball.
Omar Bravo. And trying to bring it down, he allowed Phil Jones to nip in there and take it away. Phil Jones with Blackburn Rovers last year, snapped up in early June by Sir Alex Ferguson. There were plenty of interested parties too. We got 2 balls on the pitch as Shari Joseph finds in one of them.
Interesting story about Phil Jones too at Blackburn since he was 11. And grown the youth system, and Liverpool and Arsenal were looking at him before Man U came in and swept him up.
But here's Wayne Rooney. Olave quickly across to try and throw the blanket over his move. Mondragon had to get down quickly. Some sharp reflexes by the Colombian veteran.
Well, Farid Mondragon does an excellent job of anticipating just that ball to the near post, because Thierry, you see that Berbatov making that great run, and the vision from Wayne Rooney. He's always trying to look up and find players in better positions. He does a very good job of that as a striker. Look at this again. This is going to give Evra headaches all night with that distribution from left to right for Beckham.
Throughout the MLS All-Star squad, 15 internationals, 9 of whom played for the United States. Here's Cummings, and it goes to Davis. Lovely cutback from Brad Davis. But couldn't really generate the power needed to trouble Lindegaard.
I got to give him a lot of credit. He had so much momentum going one way, and he cut that back very well. He was a bit off balance. He didn't get a lot of power on the strike, but good combination play from the MLS All-Stars. Very nice.
Open feel to it, isn't it, this game?
Yeah, certainly. And I think Man U giving a lot of respect to the All-Stars, too. They're dropping off quite a bit.
Pendulum swinging back and forth early on. Here's Ashley Young. Berbatov in a pocket of space. Can combine with Rooney. Back it goes to Rooney. And Anderson! Beautiful. Beautiful football. Quick, slick, and incisive. And Anderson with a finish as cool as you like.
Well, it was a great build-up from Manchester United. And Ashley Young on the outside cuts back on his right. And I'll tell you, there's way too much space here for Berbatov to receive it. Look at this. He's on top of the 18. Way too much. Look at the combination. Simple. 1-2. Back again. And here's Anderson coming late. You got to mark up. They're asking David Beckham to come in. And you see this. He comes in very late here on the outside. But also, too, Bobby Convey as a left back really tucked inside. Rooney and Berbatov. What a great understanding between the two strikers for Man United. Anderson, well, he gets to just desserts there. Nice little tap in into the 18. Good finish.
Dare I say it, John, it was a very Barcelona goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Manchester United.
Absolutely. Well, you can't give great players time and space. They'll just pick you apart, and that's exactly what just happened there. MLS All-Stars really a bit unorganized in terms of defensive marking with their shape. Good goal from Anderson.
He finished last season on a bit of a scoring tear. He's been a fairly infrequent visitor to the score sheet in most of his career with Manchester United. Scored a goal against Blackpool on the last day in the EPL, which you might have seen with us on ESPN2. Helped send Blackpool down. Scored a couple of goals in a Champions League semi-final against Schalke as well. Anderson at the age of 23. Now, what can the MLS All-Stars produce in terms of a response? Here's Convey hurtling forward. Henry. Jones for company. He's trying to buy himself just a yard of space, but then showed too much to Jones, who wasn't biting. Henry scored a 90th minute winner the last time he played against Manchester United for Arsenal back in January 2007. Also scored a memorable goal, which is still a YouTube favourite. That twisting, turning volley some years earlier. Here's Beckham. Good shot! And Lindegaard with his fingertips denying David Beckham a goal against his former team.
Well, I just talked about the space Berbatov had. Now you're seeing on the opposite end. David Beckham picks this ball up and just runs at the heart of the defense. Enough space for him to get a good strike. Lindegaard, well, he says, I'm up to the challenge from David Beckham. How nice would it be for Beckham to score against one of his old clubs? And he's done it so many times on big occasions.
Who can Beckham connect with from the corner? Eric Lindegaard is the answer to that question. Danish keeper. Looks like he's going to be battling David De Gea for the #1 shirt. It's a good-looking ball from Wayne Rooney right into the stride of Ashley Young. Help arriving. Young squaring it back, cannoning off Ji-sung Park. And eventually Sean Franklin getting the clearance in. The reprieve doesn't last long though. United sitting on the ball again with Rooney. Anderson. Carrick, little dink over the top. Anderson keeps on finding space. It'll be alarming for the All-Stars. Franklin able to block the cross. And now some relief for the MLS defenders as the Herbalife World Football Challenge continues Saturday. You don't want to miss this, a rematch of the Champions League final, Barcelona against Manchester United. The venue this time will be FedEx Field, just outside of Washington, D.C. We'll have full coverage Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern, ESPN2 and ESPN3.com online. That really should be something special. The Redskins Stadium, John, already completely sold out.
Absolutely, it's going to be a great occasion. There's so many fans dying to get tickets. That sold out quickly in the first hour or two, but a rematch from the Champions League, you know, both teams are going to be up for that one. Don't want to miss that.
A little bit of revenge in the air, perhaps.
Yeah.
United, who were dismantled by Barcelona at Wembley, weren't they?
Yes, they were. Very quality side, Barcelona.
It's the most lopsided 3-1 final scoreline I've ever been a witness to. Meanwhile, a bit of jostling between Thierry Henry and Ji-sung Park.
I think Ji-sung Park's okay. He anticipated very well to steal the ball. Henry's so tall, he's using his arms. That's where he caught the elbow, just across the nose, inadvertently. Thierry Henry, respect for the player and the game itself, just saying, I'll kick it out just to check on you. Sorry about that. Very good sportsmanship. I'd like to see more of that in the game.
Henry, who was the Premier League's leading scorer in 4 separate seasons, is the only player ever to manage that feat.
Can somebody just tell David Beckham to behave himself with these unbelievable balls he's playing out there?
Well, there was a half-hearted appeal for a handball there against Henry. Now Rooney on his way. Started the run from inside his own half. Olave, though, is able to make up the ground. That was some
wow. You see that pace
running
from him? Unbelievable speed from the Real Salt Lake center back, Jameson Olave. Yeah, Wayne Rooney's not too happy about that. He thought he had a good 3 or 4 yards on him, but here it is. Watch this. He is in front of him. Watch this. Talk about breakaway speed. He's catching up. Rooney's like, wait a minute, where'd you come from? Not too bad. Not too bad.
And Rooney's no slouch, is he?
No, certainly not.
They have a free kick now, United. 25 minutes in. So glad you could join us for this 16th MLS All-Star game. Adrian Healy with John Harkes for the commentary booth. And United a goal to the good, courtesy of Anderson. They're looking to build upon that advantage now. It's Ashley Young trying to devise something.
Well, keep an eye on Nemanja Vidic coming forward, the number 15. He and Phil Jones up there with Berbatov, some good height. Michael Carrick might go in there. He's sitting top of the 18 possibly.
It's Young's service. Olave there to meet it.
Nobody from Man U attacking that ball. That was a great ball. Ashley Young. So Olave.
30-year-old Colombian in his second MLS All-Star appearance. Played 45 minutes last year against United. Rooney. And here's Evra. Already very encouraging signs for United of that flourishing partnership between Evra and Young as Rooney was leaning back and spent his efforts too high. As we take a look now at the Dick's Sporting Good League leaders. And we'll look at 3 different categories: goals, assists, and the goals against average. And Thierry Henry, leading scorer at the moment, John.
He's doing very well. He came out this year. There was a bit of criticism. I think he's reacted very well to it. The fans were asking for more. He had a lot of injuries when he came in last season. Seems to be a lot healthier. Fitness, good form, good scoring. And they need it because Hans Backe's side, New York Red Bulls, have been struggling in the last 10 games. It's been difficult because so many international players were called up for Gold Cup and other reasons, some injuries. 5 of them from the starters. That's a lot to give up in Major League Soccer.
Henry in the vicinity of the ball. As the free kick goes the All-Stars way, Henry scored an absolute beauty here last weekend. They get a draw for the Red Bulls against Dallas. Here's Davis. involved early on, Brad Davis. Signing go for goal, and Lindegaard forced into another tip over the top.
It's always been a wonder for me how Brad Davis is not more involved with the U.S. national team, and I know this is a different setting. I just think he's a very good player. He's matured a lot over the years and understands his role quite well. Good strike here. Lindegaard just tipping it over, being very safe, doing the right thing. Release to this corner from David Beckham. Accuracy is key.
Beckham looking near post this time. Davis getting there to pick up the pieces. Some left foot he possesses, Brad Davis. Here comes the cross beyond Olave, away by Ferdinand. Davis again to reset for the All-Stars.
Thing at David Beckham playing as a defensive midfielder, able to kind of go deep and pick apart the team with some of these long balls. Here it is again.
Good looking service for Henry. Well, he so nearly managed to cushion that into his stride. But Jones sticking to his task.
Oh, it's an excellent ball. The weight of the pass. Look at this. An excellent first touch from Henry. He just a little bit overruns it. Phil Jones in the right position. Yeah, he's awarding that. Thank you so much. Great vision from David Beckham. He's really up for this occasion, isn't he? Adrian doing very well.
He was so nearly able to haul that ball in at full tilt as well. Intriguing battle between Henry and Phil Jones, a player at the other end of his career. David Beckham still has hopes of representing Team GB next summer in the 2012 London Olympics. To do that, you think he'll have to play at least another season at a competitive level. Jones. Wayne Rooney described Phil Jones as one of the toughest opponents he faced in the English Premier League last season. Anderson, as United just cool things down a little. Play some possession football in the middle third. Ferdinand. Jones able to get away with the heavy touch. Berbatov, though, has been caught in possession by Brad Davis. It was all over him. Beckham. A spring in the step of the All-Stars here. Omar Bravo managing to dig it out. Cummings trying to shrug off Vidic, and that is some tall order. And they call the Gladiator. And then a sloppy pass allows Michael Carrick to take over. United streaming forward. Anderson. But Olave continuing his excellent first half. And just have tweaked something as well in stretching for that ball.
A little bit sloppy on this left side from Bobby Convey. He tried to feed Beckham really short pass, and that leads to the break. And you see here as he extends himself. Well, he did very well to stop Wayne Rooney from getting in behind, but I think he felt it as he got up. Did a great job there defensively. He's not sure. You see him there. He's like, oh, I feel it now. Well, that's how quick Man United can actually counter. We've seen it so many times. You don't want to give the ball away cheaply, especially through that central part of the midfield.
Well, while Emerson Olave is getting some treatment, let's get an update from Rob Stowe.
Guy's been surveying both sides of the sideline. And you take a look at Sir Alex Ferguson. Boy, he has been working that gum all game long. Very animated, very into this game. Does not appear to be a quote-unquote preseason game for him. He was the first coach off the bench, working the corner of the coach's box, barking out to his team, get forward, get aggressive. On the flip side, just spoke with MLS head coach Hans Backe. And John, you and I spoke with him yesterday. There were some big concerns with the gamble of the formation that he went with today, going very offensive, the holes out wide. I talked to him. He said he's really pleased with the way the formation is shaping up. And again, pregame guys, to me, he said, within 10 minutes, we may change formations to a 4-4-1-1. But he likes what's going on right now. The buzzword for him, possession. He said it to me probably about 6 times over the course of 30 seconds. Loves the way they're playing. They need to keep that possession with those quick 1- and 2-touch balls.
I think, Rob, too, one of the things that we discussed was how do you defend in a 4-3-3 and make sure that Henry, Omar Cummings, Omar Bravo are doing their job on the outside. They've been interchanging up front, switching up who's going to be the central striker and the other ones work. They've been doing it quite well here in this first 34 minutes.
Interestingly, Hans Backe, guys, has a pretty good record against Sir Alex Ferguson in his 1 year with Manchester City. As assistant to Sven-Göran Eriksson, Hans Backe was part of a Manchester City team that beat United twice in the English Premier League, home and away. So I'm sure Sir Alex Ferguson remembers that.
I'm sure he does. He knows that Hans Backe does his homework, and with the history, he's very familiar with the players and the style and the shape. The organization from Sir Alex Ferguson and Manchester United in a 4-4-2, they do it so well. They understand their roles, good discipline, get numbers back behind the ball as soon as they lose it.
Olave trying to soldier on, but he's just given the signal just at the top of your screen there. You can see him walking off again.
Yeah, and I saw the assistant there, Mike Pecky, who's an assistant with the Red Bulls, actually waving on. And it looks like Jeff Cameron, number 20, coming over. So we'll see what kind of role he plays. Maybe just dropping in there to help out defensively. Very versatile player for the Houston Dynamo.
Berbatov on to Park. Dimitar Berbatov with room to roam. That was a hanging cross which almost found Anderson. Sean Franklin saw to it that he didn't and then gave it away. Rooney and Shamri Joseph for company.
Watch this ball to Berbatov. Ooh, good defensive play. Always trying to pick each other out, switching the point attack and finding the weak side. Wayne Rooney does it well.
Shamri Joseph intervening. Second time in the space of a few weeks he's played against Manchester United. A long chase for Omar Bravo. You're watching the 2011 AT&T MLS All-Star Game on ESPN, presented by Adidas. Red Bull Arena is our venue. Manchester United against the MLS All-Stars. Adrian Healy here alongside John Harkes and Rob Stone. United a goal to the good with just 10 minutes left in the first half. But plenty of enterprising, attacking and entertaining football. Plenty of bite too. As Ashley Young looks to slash into the area, he's done so. Tim Ream getting it away from danger for the All-Stars. Henry and Beckham together for the first time. Henry trying to make his run. Omar Cummings had spotted it and almost found it. It's fallen for Bravo. Henry playing the give and go, but Jones was all over it. Bit of a nervous jab there from Lindegaard. Different sort of jab from Bravo, which is allowed to continue. The referee, Ryan Marufo, saw nothing wrong. Refereeing standards generally a little more liberal in All-Star games, shall we say, as the cross comes in.
I'd like to see Omar Cummings in number 9 getting in behind Bravo there. It's a good teasing ball from Brad Davis. I thought it was a foul, actually, in Omar Bravo. Put the arm up and just shoved him over. Phil Jones went down. Referee seeing it different.
Ryan Marufo in his first All-Star game. His 10th year in the league. Now Rooney going for goal, and Mondragon. Safety first, over the top it goes.
I think Wayne Rooney in his mind was saying, oh, the goalkeeper's been a little bit too quiet right now, hasn't been tested, so from distance, might as well keep it on the frame. Just make sure Mondragon is paying attention.
Let's have a quick word from Rob Stone on the substitution forthcoming. Rob.
Well, first off, on Olave, they're calling it a mild left knee sprain. They're applying ice on it right now. Shalry Joseph had dropped back into that fullback type position. They're going to bump him back up to the midfield, and Cameron is going to slide back there in the back four.
Thanks, Rob. Cameron's first call of duty will be to try and protect this corner kick, which is swung in by Ashley Young-Berbatov on the end of it.
You know there's going to be some concern. Jason Kreis, the head coach. Obviously, a lot of coaches in the league have that concern. When they go to the All-Star, they don't want him to get injured. They want him to come back healthy. Certainly need a player like that in his side. They're going to turn things around.
Park was the target of that little dinked pass from Phil Jones. It's Cummings. Henry. Says he's not going to go to Europe in the off-season, Thierry Henry. He will be back at Arsenal, however, this weekend. And the Red Bulls play in the Emirates Cup in North London against his old team.
That's the second game, the Arsenal match. First one, Paris Saint-Germain from France.
And from France, this is Patrice Evra. Down he goes. But it's nothing more than a corner.
Not a bad first test there for Jeff Cameron. Makes a decision to go down to the ground. Wins the ball out for a corner. That's Evra. I talked about the inside backs from United having so much confidence and good possession to then go forward. Evra's coming forward quite a bit.
What a first contribution that was from Cameron. Maybe needed again. It's flashed in. Mondragon, second time of asking. Able to get it away, but the offside flag means that it wouldn't have counted.
Well, it came through traffic. It wasn't cleared properly, and then you saw Wayne Rooney on the doorstep. Phil Jones as well. Here's the great cross. A little bit of a flick on. There's the save. Just kind of punching it out. I think it was offside on Phil Jones, though, from the assistant referee.
ESPN's MLS All-Star Game presented by Adidas and in part by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. And by Continental Tire. Innovative technology, driving confidence. It's about 5 minutes left in this first half at Red Bull Arena. Plenty for the MLS All-Stars to take pride in. And as Lindegaard forced into a couple of decent saves. Envy has been looking lively. But showed too much of it to Park. Ji-Sung Park into his 7th season forthcoming with United. 8 goals last year. It was his best scoring season, despite missing 3 months of the season with an injury. Park, the South Korean international, potentially running into his former PSV teammates this weekend. Ibrahim Afellay, they played together. PSV, Afellay now with Barcelona. Mondragon, part of the World Cup '98 club for the MLS All-Stars. Mondragon, Beckham and Thierry Henry all playing in '98 in France. And Beckham scored against Mondragon at that World Cup. With Cameron. His second touch wasn't quite as sure as his first. He's found Beckham. Beckham's delivery. He's keying in on Henry. A chance here, perhaps. Well, the sharp cutback was from Sean Franklin. At their moments, the MLS All-Stars. Cameron. Houston Dynamo player. From Attleboro, Massachusetts, originally, Cameron. Convey. Coming up on the Hot Pockets half-time report, all the first half highlights and indeed the greatest highlights of the 2011 season so far in MLS. Max Bretos, Alexi Lalas, Taylor Twellman and Steve McManaman pitch side, so don't go anywhere. Anderson almost threading it through for Young. Bravo. John, what do you imagine Hans Backer is thinking about at the moment as we head into the last couple of minutes of the first half?
I think he'll be pretty happy in terms of the shape and the possession, as he mentioned before, to Rob Stone. But at the same time, he wants a little bit more threat, I think, in terms of up front. You know, one or two players have got to make better diagonal runs. They seem to be kind of straight, looking for that long ball from Beckham. Just want to change it up a little bit, but defensively, okay right now. He's not going to be happy about losing Alave so early.
It's already a big improvement on 12 months ago, isn't it, in Houston, where they were behind after 23 seconds to Federico Makeda's goal. Berbatov.
The thing that's different too, Man United doing a good job of keeping possession, but what they are doing different than the MLS All-Stars, Adrian, they're keeping possession actually in the opposition's half a lot too. So MLS are dropped off and they're keeping the ball, but they just want to get forward a bit more and get more numbers in the attack, better options.
Anderson winning that duel against David Beckham. Pulling out of that challenge there by Anderson. The young Berbatov. Evra. Really been plugging away on that left-hand side almost wholly in this first half. Is Park now. Lovely move. Ji-sung Park and a fantastic finish. Well, some South Korean sizzle there from Ji-sung Park, and United have doubled their advantage just before the break.
It's a bit of razzle-dazzle from Ji-sung Park. The South Korean, he picks the ball up here, not cleared properly, does an excellent cut on Sean Franklin. Good finish to the far post to beat Mondragon. There's the left foot of Park. Mondragon getting a hand on it, but it's too hot. Ji-sung Park doing so well, coming to the club in 2005. Great legs, works so hard, up and down, box-to-box type player, but so good in terms of his touches and passes exchanging in short spaces. And now he sees him in an advanced position, Adrian, doing very well to finish there.
And already his third goal of the tour, John. He scored against the Revolution, scored in Seattle as well.
A great combination in the first game against New England with Ryan Giggs, a little 1-2 and then a flick over the keeper. Matt Reese at that time. Good way for them to end this half. But the MLS All-Stars, they got something else to think about.
Well, what a difference a goal makes. At 1-0 down, the MLS All-Stars had plenty of reason for satisfaction, perhaps, after 45 minutes. But 2-0, it's a different story.
Well, they did. And in terms of that final third, I still think the MLS All-Stars don't have that conviction yet. They're getting shots from distance. I thought Lindegaard did well to parry those up, but Shelby Joseph in the midfield doing a lot of work with Brad Davis. Needs somebody else to make deep runs out of that midfield. It'll be good.
Rob Stone standing by with the MLS All-Stars, Brad Davis.
Well, Brad, what does that late second goal do for your guys' mindset?
It's tough, you know, getting one that late. You know, I think we had some chances there. Questionable penalty on mine, then come down and score, but it is what it is. Like I said, we've had some good build-up, had some good opportunities. We need to take them. We're giving the ball away a few times there quite easy, and we turn it over again, and they scored.
It's an intriguing midfield formation you guys are going with tonight. What's your assessment of it so far?
I think it's been all right. We just have to keep our shape. Obviously, they're good at moving the ball. We're not going to be able to close down and win it every time. You know, they're breaking well, but as long as we're just trying to keep good shape. Park makes good one-on-one play there and scores a good goal. But overall, like I said, I think it's been all right. We've had some chance. We just have to take them.
Brad, thanks for your time. Back to you, Adrian.
And it was an excellent play. I think way too much space for Michael Carrick and Anderson through the central part of midfield. And here, Berbatov just picks it up and runs. They're sitting like deer in headlights saying, who's going to mark the ball? You get caught ball watching. He runs through as a third runner. It's a great combination play. Nobody stays with Anderson. Way too easy there. And then again, Park, he just does so well here. One-on-one against Sean Franklin. Beats him, gets half a yard to the outside. Great finish to beat Mondragon.
Ji-Sung Park making it 2-0 just before the break. A whole different complexion on this All-Stars game. The MLS All-Star Game statistics brought to you by Volkswagen. And, you know, they had their shots, they had their moments in the first half, didn't they, John?
Well, they did, and it's good to have possession, but you're not possession with a purpose. So you've got to get on the end of things and finish. And, you know, I expect a few changes here from Hans Baca, maybe Tally Hall to come in goal, change it up, and then also maybe bring on another defender out of the back and change things and see if you can overlap from the back.
So David Beckham just a few moments ago as he came out onto the pitch for the start of the second half. This is what he did, a little handshake with Sir Alex Ferguson. He was part of Fergie's fledglings, wasn't he? That famous class of 1992 that Sir Alex Ferguson helped rear.
Absolutely, and he's done so well. What a legend in the game. Great managing people, so just humble. He really is, just grounded. Excellent human being, fantastic. He's done so well, and he knows Beckham very well. And he's probably congratulating him on doing so well and hurting them with all his distribution tonight.
Yeah, Tony, David Beckham and Ryan Giggs, who are original members of the class of 1992, still playing. Let's go down to Rob Stone now. Rob.
Well, guys, just spoke with MLS All-Star head coach Hans Baca, and coming off the field at the end of the first half, he asked David Beckham, David, do you want to continue playing here in the second? He said, absolutely. So that's why you see David out there. Guys, a lot of subs, and the guys at the halftime studio talked about it, no change to the formation. He will stay with the same shape. His message to the guys, a very even first half. The only difference, the end product. And guys, he does have a couple kind of quote-unquote mass subs planned in the 60th minute. Plus, later on, we do expect to hear and see from Casey Keller. We'll have more on that in a moment.
Thanks so much, Rob. There's 5 changes for the MLS All-Stars at the break. Tally Hall is the first of those, so we've got a different goalkeeper for the MLS side at the start of the second half. Wondolowski, Beckham, and LaBroca and Heath Pearce all on. We'll tidy up all those subs for you as soon as we can. Wondolowski has replaced Thierry Henry for starters. Kyle Beckerman for Shaori Joseph. Tally Hall for Mondragon, we told you about. LaBroca for Cummings, that's an interesting one. And Pearce for Franklin. Pretty much two players who play the same position. So wholesale changes for the MLS All-Stars. Just the one change for Manchester United, and that's in goal with Ben Amos. Will come on in place of Eric Lindegaard. Or Anders Lindegaard, I should say. First chance for LaBroca to get involved. The breakout season he's been having for Chivas USA. 6 goals for him so far for Robin Fraser's side. Beckham is still out there, but Thierry Henry is not. What you make of that, John?
Well, Hans Baca's being smart. He wants to rest one of his players so he can have an advantage on the weekend. And I'm sure Stevie Nichols at home for the Revs head coach is saying, I'm glad Shaori's getting a rest too. He's come off the pitch.
Here's Berbatov. Still Olave and Ream, though, anchoring at centre of defence. Touch from Rooney, who was flattened. Beckerman with a spicy challenge, and actually referee Aya Marufa is going to bring it back for the original challenge. Wayne Rooney standing over the free kick with some look of intent. Amazing to think where he was less than a year ago. Way back from the United States in November, having just worked his way back to fitness, but with some real doubts over his future at that stage with Manchester United.
Right.
Rooney, change of approach, picking out Evra. Little flick on. That was a nice variation. Bit of the unexpected there from United. before the break has given United this buffer, comfort zone of a 2-goal lead.
You see Manchester United as they keep possession here, Adrian. It's just the spacing. They really are alert. All the players understand their roles, the discipline, the shape as they move the ball forward. It's very good.
Park on the move. Jeff Cameron policing the situation. Manchester United were the first foreign team to beat the MLS All-Stars in 90 minutes last year in Houston. Everton the year before had been involved in a game that finished 1-1, even though Everton went on to win on penalties. But the MLS All-Stars had won 5 consecutive games before that against widely differing opponents. Here's Wondolowski trying to get involved for the first time.
It was just such a very important touch there from Vidic. It looked like the ball might have beaten him. Just a toe end on it. Did very well. He and Rio Ferdinand, the number 5, cleaning things up nicely for Man U in the back.
There has been no hotter striker in MLS the last couple of seasons than Chris Wondolowski. 29 goals in his last 59 games.
He's done very well, and you know that's for Frank Yallop's side of San Jose, and he's also been quite versatile, scoring goals from different positions, Adrian, which is good. Right side of midfield, centrally as a second striker, and then also being a high striker. He's done very well.
So broken into the US national team picture as well. Part of his past summer's Gold Cup. Here's Michael Carrick. Beckerman's pass going all the way back to Tally Hall. Another Houston Dynamo player out there having a breakthrough season. Tally Hall had the unenviable task of trying to replace the shoes of Pat Onstad. And he's done so admirably. Omar Bravo, the only starting forward of the Trident, still out there. Removal of Henry and Cummings. Now ESPN's MLS All-Star Game presented by Adidas and in part by Continental Tire. Innovative technology driving confidence, and by Allstate, protecting families with life insurance for over 50 years. Are you in good hands? It's the good hands of Ben Amos. He's going to get the second half in goal for United. 21-year-old keeper. Seems to be the number 3, John, at Old Trafford. Here's their number 9, though. Dimitar Berbatov is through. Oh, and back off the bar. Can he finish? Yes! Well, there is so rarely a simple goal where Dimitar Berbatov is concerned. Able to finish off the first chance that came back off the bar.
Well, he constantly says, I'll show you what I've got. He's not afraid to show off. Bulgarian international, great ball from Wayne Rooney. I told you how he peels off, his distribution excellent. Over the top, off the bar, finishes very strong here. Almost for a minute, looked like Jeff Cameron was going to defend that. Great piece of skill. We saw that from Wayne Rooney in Chicago on the ball from Rio Ferdinand, if you remember last week. Very strong conviction there, just to follow up. Great skill from Berbatov. When you're playing against 2 of the best strikers in the world, well, they're going to come here tonight and they're going to showcase their talents. Wayne Rooney and Berbatov done very well combining up top, and that's what I'd like to see this second half from MLS. All-Stars a little bit better. Have 2 strikers up there so they can work with each other and also keep the back line occupied.
Well, here they come again, Rooney and Berbatov. In the groove now, Ashley Young trying to join the party. He didn't have an invitation.
Well, it was a tight squeeze in there. He got the ball from Berbatov. And Wayne Rooney was hoping that Ashley Young would give him maybe a little bit of a cheeky back heel because he overlapped inside the 18, diagonal run.
So 3-0 down now, the MLS All-Stars in an almighty hall. Starting to look eerily reminiscent Houston and Reliance Stadium last year.
And we do these predictions, which I don't do a lot of until I know the lineups, and I said 3-1. I think one of our colleagues as well said 3-1 tonight, so I'm hoping that the MLS get a goal, get back into it. They want to compete.
United's finishing, as it has been throughout this United States tour, has been clinical, and that has been the difference. Berbatov on to Rooney. Vidic leaving it for Young. Well, Patrice Evra was getting busy in front of him. Sorts of weaving runs. Young was trying to connect. One back by La Broca. There's Rio Ferdinand. Approaching a decade now with United. Rio Ferdinand signed back in 2002. Bravo. Robbie Convey's still out there for the All-Stars. Plugging away on the left-hand side. Beckerman trying to get involved. It's wide instead to the Chivas USA man, Heath Pearce.
It's a good little build-up there. It's going to be better from Wondolowski. You know, I still think, though, when you look at this, it's 3-0, but it doesn't really reflect the way that MLS played in the first half. They had some great opportunities. They challenged well. And there's a lot of players missing here that really in our league are top quality players. Due to injury, Landon Donovan not here. You know, that he can compete. Osvaldo Alonso, great player from Seattle. Eric Hasley from Vancouver, top striker right now, doing very well. So still a lot in the MLS, right, Adrian? We know there's a lot of players that can represent here tonight.
Well, Sir Alex Ferguson, 10 minutes into the second half, has left all his starting outfielders on, and there was some talk that he would do that, try and give them maybe 70 minutes. He's worried about 90-minute fitness at this stage of the season.
Right, and Eric Steele, the goalkeeper coach, who worked with me at Derby for a short period of time, said exactly that. He said, Archie, they've got to get minutes. We need players to start getting fitter now as we come towards the end of this preseason tour. They want to be ready to be sharp as well against Barcelona on Saturday at FedEx Field. I would expect to see from MLS All-Stars and Hans Backe try to make some changes too in the next maybe 5 to 10 minutes.
Players not available tonight for United, by the way, include Ryan Giggs, who was left off the matchday squad. There's Dimitar Berbatov, joint top scorer in the English Premier League last season. His goals tended to come in bunches, though, didn't they? 3 separate hat-tricks, including one 5-goal game against Blackburn.
Did so well. When we look at this, and you know, we talk about managers and the legendary coach Sir Alex Ferguson, and what a great job he's done managing his side tonight. Picks a good team, and he still has Nani to come off the bench maybe and run at players who could be tired. So many exciting players in that depth of Manchester United.
Michael Owen and Federico Makeda also on the bench. They'll be hoping for action.
And Danny Welbeck against Chicago Fire, such a young player, promising future for him, but he did very well, creative, strong player.
There's La Broca. 5 goals in his last 4 games for Chivas USA. He's played every game this season for Robin Fraser. With Cameron stepping in. Now Beckerman. A bit of space to move into. Davis taking over. And the MLS All-Stars find a way to do any damage against this United defence. David Beckham. Heath Pearce. Cross from Cameron. Beckerman. Deciding to go for goal. Might break for Wondolowski. It does break for David Beckham. Whips it in. Good service! Well, the flicked header from La Broca. Agonizingly wide of the post. It was an open header.
That was a good ball. You see Wondolowski is actually behind Nick La Broca. The communication maybe not there at that time. A little bit danger. Getting closer, though. You see more players pushing a little bit forward from the MLS All-Star. They got to get in the score sheet. They're hoping to break the ice here and get the first goal. 59 minutes gone so far. Still Manchester United managing things quite well in terms of the distribution and just spacing, stretching out the game. They can afford to do that. The MLS All-Stars are chasing it right now.
Rooney attracting a crowd. Evra. Park, able to keep it going. Rooney. Will be easy enough for Tally Hall. Sir Alex Ferguson came out and said, pretty much admitted that Chicharito's form last year gave him a real headache when it came to striker selection. The form of Hernandez was so good that he couldn't leave him out. That meant likes of Michael Owen, Makeda suffered in terms of playing time. Makeda even had to go away on loan, and we're going to see a mass substitution by Manchester United very shortly. Just adding a picture down below us, I see 6 United players standing by.
I would think Hans Bacca's probably noticed that too and said, "Ooh, I've got to do something to counter that. Got to get some fresh legs out there. Maybe Coriash, a couple other players coming off the bench here." Look at the challenge right here. You got Michael Owen coming on, who's showing good form this year over some of his injuries. Chris Smalling coming on, Danny Welbeck.
Michael Owen replacing Dimitar Berbatov. Smalling for Ferdinand. We told you about. Rooney's also gone. Welbeck is coming on for Ashley Young. Cleverly for Carrick.
Well, this becomes a huge challenge right now. We talked about the depth of one of the world's best teams, Manchester United. There's Wayne Rooney, Waza, as they call him. He's done very well tonight. Didn't get on the score sheet, but still created very well. And now you think about, too, in terms of the depth. You just finished talking about Chicharito, where there's a young Danny Welbeck. Very good player, exciting. And Chicharito, people are hoping that he could be ready for the Barcelona match. I'll have to check on that later. But still, the bargain of the year for me in the Premier League. Only spent $8 million on him. What a terrific player he is.
Some people went even further than that, John. Called him the bargain of the century. Sir Alex Ferguson getting him for just about $8 million.
Yeah.
Sir Alex Ferguson, nearly 25 years in charge. And the 4th Houston Dynamo player of the night is going to come on for the MLS All-Stars. Interestingly, the most representatives from any MLS team, LA and New York, both with 3 apiece.
Yep. Very good representation there. Jack Dewsbury as well coming on from Portland. He's having such a great year as a leader, central midfielder, scoring goals and being very creative. Dead ball plays, he's doing very well.
Another in his first All-Star selection, Jack Dewsbury.
Yeah. There's some of the game coming up on really Friday, 2-day turnaround for Colorado at Philly. Talk about some of the players not here. Carlos Valdez, you know. Breck Shea from Dallas still not here.
So it's all change on both sides of the ball. Michael Owen will fondly remember a trip to New Jersey 6 years ago with the England national team where he scored a hat-trick just down the road at Giant Stadium and against Colombia. Coriash, converted left back this season, isn't he? Waited very patiently for a chance at midfield, which never arrived. Now Beckerman, that's clever from him. Kyle Beckerman. Just no end product, but great initial work from Beckerman. In comes the cross, which Evra is there to meet. Thumping header away from the Frenchman. He never seems to get a rest, Patrice Evra.
This is very good from the MLS All-Stars. Moving the ball quickly, 1 and 2 touch. Beckerman doing a very good job coming on the second half, moving the ball through central midfield. Good strike.
And the rebound is just wide. It really should have been finished. Omar Bravo, the culprit.
Wow, what a first strike it was, too, from Wondolowski. He let it rip. Plenty of power and pace. The keeper, Ben Amos, for Manchester United, couldn't do much, but really just get his body in terms of position. Here's the turn. Great strike there. Can't get a hand on it. Bravo's got to finish that. The rebound came hard at him. Wow, for Sporting Kansas City. Could have put himself on the score sheet here in his first MLS All-Star game.
Omar Bravo, the commissioner's pick. Latest of a long line of high-profile Mexicans in the league. I think of the likes of Blanco and Campo, Luis Hernandez, and another on their way, Pavel Pardo, signed with Chicago Fire. Here's Welbeck. Oh, he really impressed you, John, with his lively outing in Chicago.
Unbelievable, and his quickness, his first 2-3 touches to get away from defensive pressure, and then also foot skills. Very comfortable on the ball, right to left. Strong, powerful young player.
Welbeck on loan with Sunderland last year, losing out there to Jeff Cameron.
Yeah, scored 6 goals there in Sunderland, and actually Steve Bruce was saying he could have had really double, should have had 12. So young player, capable of scoring more, but did pretty well. But he runs into a very strong, big Jeff Cameron of Houston Dynamo. We said Cameron, very versatile, can play central midfield, can attack midfield, good touch on the ball. See that touch from Welbeck there.
Makeda looked like he was having his shirt held, and indeed he was. Kyle Beckerman, the guilty party.
Makeda had 2 goals last year in Houston, scoring that very quick goal you mentioned before in the first minute, less than a minute. And telling another one. It was a win 5-2 last year.
Welbeck not allowed to settle. Sharp challenge from Cameron. He's really in the thick of the action again. David Beckham launched the MLS All-Stars counter-attack. LaBrocca holding it up. The 2 Los Angeles players together, albeit with different teams.
Great hustle there from Michael Owen. A little bit slow from Wondolowski to realize he was on his back.
Now Nani shifting up through the gears. The cross is low and safely gathered by Tally Hall.
And we saw the breakout speed from Nani. Looking to push Chris Smalling a little bit more in front of him, overlapping. Did very well. Good ball early on, but I'll tell you, if you have somebody running across the near post there, possibly Berbatov or Rooney, well, that gives the goalkeeper more of a problem.
Beckham. From Heath Pearce. Beckham again looking for the full width of the field with that pass, but Chris Smalling was there. He's Cleverly, another one of the young United players returning from a spell away at loan. Sir Alex Ferguson has said those players aren't going anywhere this year, that he tends to use Welbeck and Cleverly. Welbeck on the ball now. Welbeck looking for the shot and takes it and makes it. Little deflection en route, perhaps. Wrong footing Tally Hall. But Welbeck in amongst the goals. 4-0 United.
Well, it looked way too easy. It's Danny Welbeck with the strength and size. I talked about his pace. But just watch his confident touch. It just cuts inside here. Nick LaBrocca trying to double back, and it comes off at Jeff Cameron's knee. Goalkeeper Tally Hall cannot do anything about that. Very direct, through traffic. Welbeck, acres of space to really pick his spot, but luckily gets a deflection. But that again, too, for Manchester United, finding acres of space. Heath Pearce got to close that down as a right back. This Man United side, we talked about organization shape from Sir Alex Ferguson, but also their commitment. They're winners. They are hard-working players. They want to do well every single game. And it shows here in this preseason Herbalife World Football Challenge this summer.
Makeda, last year's MVP, losing out. Well, they have been the dominant force in English football for the last 2 decades. Manchester United have scored with 4 of their 6 shots on goal here tonight. It's an exercise in efficiency. Winners of 12 of the last 19 Premier League titles. Smalling got to hold his ground. And Nani taking over. Anderson to Evra. It's Cleverly. Typical of the United youth system. He's already been with them 6 years, but most of that time out on loan. Evra scampering to keep it in play. Welbeck, is he lining up another? Dishes it off to Evra instead. And the All-Stars just digging a hole for themselves, giving it away. To their own penalty area, but no damage done this time.
Man United, they turn the ball over, they hunt straight away. They're right after it defensively. You see all the fresh legs that came in. 6 changes just a few minutes ago. And the one thing we did mention quite a bit is the attack from Man United, but you have to give so much respect to Vidic, who holds down the fort in the back. What a great central defender. There he is again, stepping in, number 15.
Now Makeda hurtling towards goal. Ran into trouble and resistance from Tim Ream. 20 minutes remaining at Red Bull Arena in Harrison, New Jersey. It's another lopsided game involving Manchester United. United preparing for the defence of their league title. Feeling they thoroughly enjoy coming to the United States, not just for the football, but everything that surrounds the tour, John. There's an air of almost relaxation about them at times, in contrast to the way they get hounded by the British media.
Yeah, I mean, they're very comfortable here. They have a great rapport with the fan base, and it's global for Man United. So they're here to concentrate, focus. You know, you got to keep things in perspective too, Adrian. It's a big picture thing. And MLS All-Stars, well, they don't train together as a full side throughout the whole year. Makes it difficult when you come in and you got to put all those pieces of the puzzle together. So you're looking at a very accomplished Man United, one of the best teams in the world. They know each other so well. And that's the difference here tonight, too.
Nani. Cleverly made a big part in keeping Wigan Athletic up in the Premier League last season. Amazing great escape. And it's almost cruise control at the moment. Michael Owen onto Nani.
That's good cover there from Tim Ream.
Only another couple of switches forthcoming. So Alex Ferguson's team having a field day in the United States. 18-2 they've outscored all US opponents, and 15-1 if you look at just the second 45 minutes.
Well, they've done very well, but you've got to look at other clubs in this World Football Challenge who are playing against international clubs as well. And so it's a very good schedule for them. They've trained well. Sir Alex Ferguson there with Anderson. Plenty of depth in the side, and as they should, because they have loads of money to spend. It makes it difficult for MLS to compete at that level. They don't have that type of open, free spending in a one-entity structure. There's Vidic coming off. Talked about him as a central back. Good player.
Well, maybe that will provide just a little bit of daylight for the MLS All-Stars, because Manchester United statistically significantly worse when Nemanja Vidic isn't on the pitch. Their win percentage is 74% with him, 59 without him. He's that important. The gladiator. Wondolowski has been really starved of service, hasn't he? San Jose man, desperate to make an impact. Only Kenny Mensali and Corey Gibbs have scored against United so far. Here's Diouf. Diouf from Senegal. David Beckham. I mentioned it's just he and Ryan Giggs still playing from the original Fergie's fledglings. The Herbalife World Football Challenge continuing tomorrow as Juventus from Italy taking on Chivas from Mexico. That's in Raleigh, North Carolina, 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2 and again on ESPN3.com. The last team to arrive for the World Football Challenge will be Barcelona, who will start their sequence of games against United in DC on Saturday. Once again, you can see with us at 7 p.m. Eastern, ESPN2 and ESPN3.com again. It's a positive run forward by Jeff Cameron. Phil Jones not about to concede any ground, though. Will Phil Jones go the longest of any of the Manchester United starters tonight? He and Patrice Evra still the only ones out there. And what a moment this is, John. We're going to see Matt Beasler come on from Kansas City. He was the winner of the AT&T text voting. He garnered an astonishing 30% of that vote. He must have a lot of friends.
He's having a good year supporting Kansas City. A lot of upside to Matt Beasler.
Yeah, third year for him as the cross comes in beyond the reach of Bravo.
Well, it's good, too, from Hans Backe to try to get all the players on. And he said that before. We spoke to him yesterday.
Wondolowski was the target. That's safely back from Evra to Ben Amos. There's Wondolowski, his first All-Star selection. Michael Owen. Some of the England campaigns with David Beckham, who we meet in midfield there.
You can't, not talk about Matt Beasler. He went to the University of Notre Dame, and for those of us who know Notre Dame quite well, Bobby Clark, the legendary goalkeeper who played at Manchester United, saw him in Chicago, came in afterwards in the dressing room, said hello to Sir Alex Ferguson. He's done so well as a coach here in the United States. So still developing great players coming through the college system. A lot of good coaches out there in this country. Says a lot.
Drifts header down. Looks as though it's going to drift through harmlessly. Now, wasn't Sir Alex Ferguson talking to you about fish and chip shops in Kearney the other night?
He was. He's got family here. We see this play. Oh, referee, hello. Well, he's got family here, and he was asking me about the fish and chips because he knows Thistle. I said, well, I used to work there. And he said, wait a minute, do you know the Leahys? I said, yeah, Billy Leahy was a friend of mine. Billy Leahy's wife, Kim Davies, on that side is related to Sir Alex Ferguson. So they went out to eat. They had some fun the other night. So many deep connections here, in this area.
I said the best fish and chips in the world are in Glasgow.
They're in Kearney.
Well, I know that.
And we're going to argue that one.
Here goes Jack Dewsbury for the All-Stars. Good service near post, and LeBrocca's run was well timed. The finish just a little off kilter.
Well, that's so much better, though, too, from the MLS All-Stars. And I like the fact that Jack Dewsbury has found the game, and he's gone from a central midfield position out wide. Good ball in here. He's only got one option, Nick LeBrocca. 5 players from Manchester United back. And I want to see more emphasis from the MLS All-Stars to get into the attacking third, right into the 18. He did the best he could, Jack Dewsbury. Unfortunately for LeBrocca, That one just a little bit too high, but that's good. Good from them to counter like that.
There's Jack Dewsbury, 8 years at Kansas City, but now a pivotal figure for Portland. He's actually their top scorer this year with 5 goals. The expansion Portland Timbers have been a delight to watch.
And Corey Ash, for so many years, we knew under Dominic Kinnear at Houston Dynamo as a left-sided midfielder, getting down the wing, looking to put balls in the box. More recently been used as a left back here, Adrian, this season.
There's Cameron. United still defending furiously. Got a clean sheet in sight, and the MLS All-Stars have never been held scoreless in an All-Star game against international opposition. Diouf with Owen.
And I'm sure with the New York Red Bulls and the fans that are here in this Red Bull Arena, a lot of international players being represented here, but still in this melting pot in New Jersey, but they still want to see one of their homegrown players, and they'd love to see Juan Agudelo come in. Henry's come off, he's resting. Did okay in the first half. And it's good to see U.S. international players coming through the system and getting a chance too in these games.
Yeah, Agudelo was the other commissioner's pick. And Hans Backer coaches him at club level too, so competing interests. Evra. Diouf trying to dig in. Another player on loan last year with Blackburn Rovers as well. Smalling. Nani onto Fabio. Fabio, a well-timed overlap. Options for him. He chose the wrong one. Decided to keep it low. Well, we mentioned Juan Agudelo, John, and we're going to see Juan Agudelo. The young 18-year-old phenom is going to be the final switch. Well, maybe not, because Rob Stone's got some news concerning Casey Keller. Rob.
Yes, I can guarantee a good moment for the MLS All-Stars, and it's coming up in just a moment. Casey Keller will be coming on, and I want to make sure we don't miss the live announcement, guys. But there is Casey Keller. This, the final season of his 19-year pro career. Wasn't easy for Casey to get here. Last night, guys, he was playing in Panama. Participated in Seattle's 1-0 loss in a CONCACAF Champions League qualifier. He left Panama just before 10 a.m. today, landed at Newark International at 4 p.m. after a quick Starbucks break at the airport. You know, you got to refuel, right, guys? A long flight. He came straight here to the arena. He and head coach Hans Backer spoke today, and they were hoping to get him about 15 minutes. It's going to be a little bit less than that, but they are planning a special announcement and introduction for one of the all-time greats in the U.S. national team program, Casey Keller, who will be coming on in just a matter of moments, guys.
Thanks so much, Rob. What a story that's going to be. We were told he wasn't going to play. He was the original first 11 selection in the All-Star, so he would have been the #1 goalkeeper. Now, listen for the PA announcement when it comes. Casey Keller, his last season as a professional, coming on for Tally Hall.
MLS legend number 18, Casey Keller.
A wonderful reception, and rightly so. And the crowd at Red Bulls, and it's only right that Seattle Sounders have a participant as well in this MLS All-Star game, John.
Oh, I absolutely agree. They've done so well in this first half of the season. Plenty of players that could easily represent here tonight. Casey Keller being one of those who has made a long journey. Rob Stone talked about it quite in detail. And really, it's kind of fitting in a way. It's his last season here. Comes back to MLS, does so well in Seattle. And gets an opportunity to kind of showcase and be here.
A man who has faced Manchester United several times in his storied career. In his time in North London with Spurs. The crowd are craving a goal here for the All-Stars. Something to take home with them. Juan Agudelo would be an ideal scorer from a New York perspective. Beckham. Dewsbury. Everett has given it up to Agudelo. Opportunity here. Oh, he slid it low and slid it behind Nick LaBrocca. A rare mistake from Patrice Everett, wasn't punished. Now Welbeck taking it in his stride at the other end. Danny Welbeck bursting into the area.
What an excellent recovery from Jeff Cameron. Just showing again his strength and pace. This ball given away again by Corey Ash. And I was just saying, it looked like Danny Welbeck was way on his way to a one-on-one with Casey Keller. And there he is again, Jeff Cameron, having a very good second half. Great job.
Keller will have appreciated that hustle.
Casey Keller
from
started
Cameron.
backing up right away, saying, oh my God, here we go. Here we go.
There goes Agudelo again working on this near side. This time Jones for company. A couple of step-over moves from the 18-year-old. A year ago, he still hadn't made an MLS appearance.
You know, you mentioned Casey playing against Man United, but I was very lucky to win a League Cup final against Man United for Sheffield Wednesday. Good special moments. When you know the players, too, that represent that club, it's always very special, you know, to not only compete against them, but to actually get a trophy and win. So, very good sides over there.
Beckham's corner now. It's the shot on for Dewsbury. Deflects, and there'll be a retake for Beckham.
You see Dewsbury doesn't get right contact with the ball. He has such a good strike from the outside.
His best goal scoring yet in terms of a season in MLS for Jack Dewsbury. Beckham. A good delivery which hops away, unfortunately, from Matt Beasler. And now a long way back as Nani sets sail. Corey Ash can match him for speed, though. Good work from Corey Ash. Last touch off the Houston Dynamo defender.
And two fast players going at it. See Nani taking a quick corner kick here. Corey Ash did very well to stay with him.
Nani's cross. Owen was lurking at the near post. Keller first to the punch.
You see Casey Keller not missing a beat at all. Quick distribution out here to David Beckham, but not a lot of options forward. This is where some of the outside backs from the MLS All-Stars need to get forward. I'd like to see Heath Pierce push a little bit higher up here as a right back. Just to stretch him and give him another option. Great job by LaBrocca to keep possession here.
Tenacious work. LaBrocca, he wanted an outlet though, seemed to.
I don't think he saw Jack Dewsbury. He was screaming at him for the ball.
There may have been a little camouflage there. Dewsbury tries to track back on Makeda. Final few minutes in Harrison, New Jersey. It's going to be another big win for United against the MLS All-Stars. Will it get bigger yet? Owen. Nani. So cleverly short. Well, they've talked a lot, the Manchester United players, about the huge differences when they first came here in 2003. This is going to be a free kick for the All-Stars. Agudelo was sent tumbling.
Well, I'm glad Juan Agudelo came off the bench because he's supplying some fresh legs. Trying to still create when he's very much outnumbered. We're hoping that the MLS All-Stars can get their shape a little bit higher up the field to receive the balls against Manchester United here. We'll come to the last probably 4 or 5 minutes left in this match. Some added time possibly.
Well, it's tailor-made, isn't it, for only one man?
Yeah. You see Ben Amos is yelling at his wall right now. Come on. He doesn't want to give up a goal to a former player, but David Beckham, he has other things in mind.
Beckham. Oh, into the side netting. It was so close. Got it round the wall. Unfortunately, got it round the post too.
There's so many MLS fans that wanted that to go in. And he wasn't far away. Good bend on the ball, just dipped too far outside. Ben Amos, sigh of relief as he went by the side netting.
Well, it wasn't to be for Beckham. Looks like he's going to be on the losing end again against United, as he was twice with AC Milan. Here's Diouf. Evra arriving. He's into the side netting too with his efforts.
And you see Patrice Evra overlapping and Diouf covering for him, sprinting back straight away. But Evra, he knows he's working on fitness too. And he sprints by him to get back.
Well, I heard last season's defeat by the MLS All-Stars referred to about being as pleasant as chewing on broken glass, John, and this wasn't much more pleasant here tonight when you look at the end result. But does it really matter?
No, I think this is an all-star game, and people want to be entertained. You want to showcase players that have done well in the league. There's certainly a lot of players that aren't here due to injuries or other obligations, and fixtures could. But still, it's been fun. People have come here, they've seen goals. And at the end of the day, no, it doesn't matter the final result. It'll be talked about, though. They'll say, oh, it would have been nice for the MLS All-Stars to get a goal, get on the score sheet.
It's just going to be one additional minute played. Fabio. Knee break for Nani. Cameron. There's a one-man wrecking crew back there at the moment, Jeff Cameron. Welbeck for United. We're looking very much in the groove. Interesting to see how they deal with Barcelona on Saturday. Cleverly. The derby against Manchester City. It's their first meaningful fixture in England in 10 days' time in the Community Shield. Nani. It's away around Ash. Able to get a foot in. Diouf digging in. So that is all she wrote in terms of the 2011 MLS All-Star game. It's another heavy defeat for the All-Stars at the hands of Manchester United. 5-2 last year, 4-0 this time around. That second goal just before the break made it a really tall task, and United just powered on in the second half.
No, they did, and they just went from strength to strength. It was a good side Sir Alex Ferguson put out, very well disciplined, organized, and he has a wealth of talent coming off the bench that can compete. They're in the preseason, they're getting fitter as the tournament goes on. MLS All-Stars, David Beckham had a good night, I thought. But again, it was just, you know, you want more in the final third from the MLS All-Stars. It comes at a time right in the middle of the year where guys are still trying to fight for spots and also want to get points in the league, which is very important coming up games this week, Friday and Saturday this weekend.
And an emotional end for Casey Keller, who got a few minutes. Let's go down now pitch side with Rob Stone. I believe he has Sir Alex Ferguson with him. Rob.
I do. Sir Alex, you just shared a few words with Thierry Henry. What did you say to him?
No, he was just congratulating us, and I was just saying it wasn't a 4-0 score win, because in the first half MLS played very well and their goalkeepers had two great saves. But we played some good football, particularly in the second half.
A lot of smiles from you on the bench today. Besides the result, what pleased you the most?
Well, we brought a lot of young players on. It's good for them to get experience and an atmosphere like tonight. I think that is an essential part of Manchester United.
What's the latest update on Chicharito?
He's fine. He said he's all clear. He's out of hospital. He's back in the hotel. So we'll give him a couple of weeks and I'm sure he'll be okay.
A certain opponent on Saturday looming in the distance. What does the matchup with Barcelona mean for you guys at this stage?
Well, it's one to look forward to. It's the end of a very successful tour for us. The players have done very, very well. I think we've made a great impact with the supporters in the United States, which is very pleasing. It was good to see the enthusiasm of them for us. So on Saturday, we'll go enjoy ourselves. It's the best thing.
Sir Alex, thank you for your time. We appreciate it.